Good morning. It is Thursday, October 7th, 2021, and I just wanted to share my morning meditation because it was so it's so accurate, but it's also so intuitive, and it just shows how things just kind of work together when you're open to it and open to messages from the universe and the earth and all of that wonderful, magical connection, I think, to yourself and to the universe and earth around you. I woke up this morning and did my normal little morning routines, and I pulled my oracle card, and I just did a one card pull today, and it's the First Chakra Archangel Michael, and it is about stability and security. It's about your first chakra, which is the base of your spine, being open to a healthy state, which is kind of ironic for me because my scoliosis is at the base of my spine, and it is something that I'm actually in physical therapy for right now, working on because of my osteoporosis mixed with my scoliosis. I have a fracture in my back that we're working on, but we're strengthening the core, and I've done that for years through Pilates and through yoga and through playing tennis and all the other activities that I've done. But I really am just getting off of about a 6 to 8 month series of setbacks, I think, with it, and I have felt really low as far as my strength and my ability to be stable, not just from my core, but from all angles. And it was wonderful to pull this card today because I feel like I have made great strides in building that strength and building that core up again, and not just physically, but mentally, mostly mentally, actually. It took me a while to kind of snap out of the fact that when the doctor told me I needed to be really cautious about my osteoporosis, and especially because I have scoliosis on top of it, and I felt like I was a China doll. I was wrapped in bubble wrap, and I kind of just moved on from that. And physical therapy has helped me a lot, but mentally I've just I'm strong. I'm going for it. And so this was the perfect card for me today. And the encouragement is that you have this guidance and this is support from this Archangel Michael, but more that you have the strength and stability within yourself, stemming from your core and stemming from that first chakra. And so my meditation, or my affirmation I added on today, was that I am strong at my core. Very simple, very much the statement that I need to remind myself, that I used to remind myself. And so then I went into my earth journal. I, of course, wrote in my earth journal. I always write my reflections for my oracle cards in a horizontal style book. I just feel like I write in that direction and very well, and so I always write it in that. And then I grab my one of my vertical journals. And this journal is one that also just has earth-stained, plant-stained paper covers, and then inside are hand-dyed papers. And I use them for imagery. And imagery is very important in my art practice as well as in my life. I think I've always kind of pulled out relationships to what I'm doing at time, for my children, for my business, for my personal life, my husband, myself, and I listen to those messages of the universe. And so this was a perfect one to look at today. So I turned the page from my Serenity one yesterday and fell into this page, and I have to tell you, this this page was why I kept this book, because I saw heads, I saw figures, I saw faces, I saw all of these things in this page, and I saw all of those as they were on top of a spine, or almost like a x-ray vision of a torso behind here. And I'm not sure if you would see that at first glance, and so I'm going to show you that. I do have a video of pulling all of these pieces out, and what I mean by that is that I saw the imagery in them, and then I outlined and I used my vintage pastels and really made those come to life and come forward. And after I pulled all of my pieces forward, the pieces of imagery that I wanted to pull forward, and I say that I want to because there are other ones in there. I've seen other faces. There's animal faces, and there's other pieces of design that I could definitely pull forward, but they weren't important to me for this purpose, for this meditation. And so I started out, these were the figures that I saw at first. There was a figure here, and another figure here, and another figure here, and then I didn't see these figures up here until this morning. So when I stitched this book and I flipped through it and I found these figures, it's like, that's calling to me. I need to keep this one. But today when I went in and I started with this figure who was a little bit more vague, I think. The face was, or the figure was there, but there was this something here, and I really couldn't tell what it was. And then I saw this reflection of this head, this whatever this is, this element, in kind of a water. So I did this reflection bit under here, very symbolic that it's still vague, and I'm looking at it, and it's about a part of me that I can't quite grasp yet, but it's there, and I feel it, and it's reflecting back at me and inviting me to come in more and really see a little bit more about that, really interpret that a little bit more. And so that's what I pulled out over here. And I was as I was doing that, I found this person. So this is again before I put pencil to paper, and I say as I'm pulling out, because I start with kind of a spot that calls me in, and then with my eyes and with my fingers and sometimes with my pencil, that first round, I go ahead and I get pulled into the design, and then I start to see other imagery. And the first one that popped up was here, an angel with wings and energy coming from her being, her kind of out of her arms, her hands, and so I saw that, and then I moved on to this part over here, which was more refined. It's a more defined space of this woman, and what she's holding isn't another being at this point. It's flowers. It's a flower energy, and it's almost like a long crystal of energy beneath, and then this blooming coming up above. And of course I did it in amethyst for that strength of power that I feel from that amethyst. And she's walking, and she's not really floating as much as this one, even though her feet are here. She's a little bit more floating, but here she's stepping forward and moving, and all of that was there. That's the amazing part, is that I'm seeing this within the designs, within the shadows, within the texture of the hand-dyed paper that I do. And when I hand-dye paper, it's a whole different story, but I do each sheet individually, and I use herbs, and that's where I get all these textures and these illusions of different imagery coming in through here. And of course this angel is still here, and she's also more refined and sending out energy, and she's basked in yellow. I purposely painted yellow behind her up here, and a blue periwinkle behind there, and she just kind of came forward, and more strength and more stability and more confidence in that first chakra that I'm feeling now as I'm moving step by step into my future. And here's the part that, you know, maybe many would not have seen. I don't know. I see x-rays of spines in almost everything that I do. And I think it's because my spine, my scoliosis has, I don't want to say defined me since I was a teenager, but it definitely played a role in everything, honestly, everything in my life, probably from birth, although I didn't realize it until the first time I realized it was 14 when I got diagnosed with scoliosis. And then at age 50, when I got diagnosed with an arachnoid cyst, which I had from birth, and I did not realize it, although most people with arachnoid cysts have scoliosis. And that arachnoid cyst has really defined so much of what I could do from early on without me realizing it. You know, feeling like I was underwater when I was running, and you know, when I was training for tennis, and feeling that pressure in my head that literally felt like vice grips, and when I was swimming on the swim team and diving in the pool, or doing flip turns, or even turning my head to breathe, the fact that there was water that I felt inside my head moving around, that was that cyst. And so I didn't realize it for, you know, till I was 50, which was crazy to think about. But this core, this spine, and this is the lower part of the spine. If you can see this, it's kind of like these are my hips right here. And as I go up, this is showing the, you know, the higher part of my spine going here. And then I just put these lines, and this was here actually, and I just kind of put these lines in with darker gray to show the outline of my arms that would be by my side. And so my hips, and then down through here my arms. So this imagery of this woman on either side, and these angels were all set on top of this image of a spine, of the torso, x-ray of it. And so this is why my earth journals, I'm so passionate about them, because of the imagery. I love, of course, the connection to the earth that I make, and this is not a sales pitch. This is why I use them. I feel like they not only speak to me, but on many days they speak for me. And I find that in this imagery that is created on these pages in a natural way between how I use Earth's elements, herbs and plants, and, you know, all kind of living vegan things. And I say vegan, it's very important because there's a lot of people that die with insects and with other proteins, and I don't. I'm all vegan on everything. Even my paper is rag cloth, cotton paper. So anyways, I just wanted to share how the imagery occurs and how I saw it. And I'm really excited to share this particular one with you, because a lot of times it's a little bit harder to explain, but this one, this one got me to my core, and it is about my core. And again, the just to go back and let you know, the oracle cards that I use, that I've used for this one, are my energy oracle cards. They're by Sandra Ann Taylor, and sometimes I do a 1-card pull, and sometimes I do a 3-card pull, and I kind of alternate between those depending on what I feel, and that was all I needed today was that one card pull. That was a strong one. So I hope your day is absolutely wonderful and beautiful, and you find strength in your core, and I wish you well. Enjoy.